How sudden did this come about?
Actually, I got a phone call about 2.5 weeks ago on a player that I had from Eric Tillman. We've been good friends for 30 years, and we were talking about a quarterback basically, and then we kind of talked some other things, and then of course 2 guys that have coached for me, Dennis McKnight and Jeff, have been up here. So for the last couple years almost, I've communicated with both of them. So, but I didn't really get maybe 10 days ago probably was when actually talked to Scott and talked to Eric about possibly coming up here, and then we had a great conversation 3 or 4 times about possibilities. So ended up they wanted to pull the trigger, and I was kind of excited because I knew a lot of the people up here. So I chose to throw myself up here and try to help.
You're in Hawaii. You're working at a high school. I bet you Hawaii's nice this time of year. What makes you decide to give up that to come back to coaching in the CFL of all places?
Basically, people. I do things probably a little bit different. Always have. I'm motivated by the relationships with the people, and I really felt strongly about Kent after just speaking with him. I've known about him, and of course Dennis and Jeff have spoken about him a long time. And then when I first met Scott, he seems like these guys know what they're talking about and know what to do, and they want to win. And so I just really was excited that I could maybe have some input to make everybody better, and then hopefully get the thing turned around.
You don't have the benefit of a training camp. This team is where it is in the standings. How do you evaluate the offense as you have it going forward?
In this business, you're 4 or 5 plays away in every game from winning a game. And just like last week, I can tell you 4 plays right off the top of my head. And you never know when those 4 plays are coming out of the 60 or 70 you get. But if you make those plays, you win the game. And so they're very close to certainly being a competitive and maybe a playoff team. And one of the things that I remembered from my time in Toronto and my time in Ottawa, that you can be in the position this team is and still win the Grey Cup. And you can't say that in the NFL. You can't say that in college. If you get on this kind of losing streak, you're not probably going anywhere. But I've seen it time and time again where you just get hot at the right time, and an 8-10 team wins the Grey Cup, or you catch back up and get 1 over 500 and you win it all if you get hot at the right time. So that excited me. I also have known of the quarterbacks. I've watched the quarterbacks, and so I really feel good about Jeremiah and Zach. They're good kids. They want to get better, and they can throw the ball. So,
some of your concepts that you had, like with the Gamblers and Jim Kelly, you rewrote the record books there, and some of those concepts work really well, put up big yardage and points. Do they still work in this game?
Everybody's using them. In fact, when I turned on the film, I looked at what Hamilton is doing and basically running a lot of the concepts that we've done, and I do that every day when I watch the NFL. New England is running almost, I would say 65 to 70% of our concepts, and so from going from one team in 1984 and then 87, running some of the stuff we do, it's really I feel proud that Mouse and I had an influence, that it's a part of every offense now. And so what we did today, I kind of looked over the last 3 days at some of the film and tried to see where those same concepts were. We kind of did a lot of those today, and then I just kind of put a tweak on how you coach that a little different than what they were now. But I think I think this is going to end up being a positive situation for everybody. I think, like I said, I haven't known Kent that long, but I feel he's a good man, and we'll find a way to win.
Are you essentially functioning as the offensive coordinator at this point?
No, we haven't even talked about that at all. He asked me to kind of look at what they're doing and put and then let's sit down and see what we can do without making it brand new stuff, And so we kind of, through the terminology, did that. We did a lot of those things today, and then we'll do a few more tomorrow, and then we'll kind of tighten it all down because the kids already know a lot. They know more than I do on some of the other stuff. You know, how to call it, how to deal with it. I would anticipate that Kent will continue to call the plays, but I will certainly have input with him on that.
When you were
Same
sitting up
thing with
sit-
Zach on the sideline during drills and all that. What are your conversations with him like during practice?
You know, I was talking about things that happened in the previous drill. You know, how, you know, his keys and basically how to read certain things. We're going to go upstairs right now and watch that practice on film, and he'll get so much better on his execution just from watching the film today, because we'll be repetitive doing that again tomorrow, a lot of those things.
He's struggled at times this year. What have you seen out of his play, and what does he need to do differently to be successful for you?
I thought he played pretty good last week. That was the first one I saw live, and so I didn't. I haven't gone back and watched him play in those earlier games, but I saw him on TV playing. I didn't watch it off the game tape, and you know, I know he can make all the throws, and he's a very competitive kid. I've talked to players that have played on this team with him, and the first thing they say, he wears his competitiveness on his sleeve. So if you have a kid like that, usually you get him to play at a high level. So hopefully I'll be able to do that.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
And
Thank you.